Alright, I'm never sure where to look for these, but, oh, there we go. Hi, so my name's Jody. My name's Jody Aberdeen, and this is for Emily the Dirktective, the Canadian Dirktective, from a fellow Canuck. I'm just recording this just north of Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. This is this is where I live right now, but only for another few weeks, and then I head back to the city. And wanted to talk about why I'm part of the Save Dirk Gently campaign and what I've been doing and what the show means to me. So I can ramble, so I'm going to do my best to stay quick with this. But the show is funny. I just wanted something to watch on Netflix one night a few years ago. And, sorry, it's my dog. She's somewhere back here. Anyway, there she is. But no, I'd wanted something to watch on Netflix. And I saw Elijah Wood, Dirk Gently, Holistic Detective Agency. Thought, okay, sounds pretty cool. And I have to admit, the first episode, I watched it and I was like, I don't know what's happening. I mean, most people were, but I just had to find out. So it just became this thing. But I didn't count on it becoming as important as it has. I have my obsessions. So what I do for a living is I'm a writer, coach, author. So like I've written 2 books, 2 teleplays. Like TV pilots, basically. And so, like, so I work with professionals to tell their stories. So, like, if you're a business owner and you have a creative work that you want to do, I help you do that through a variety of ways. So, I've done ghostwriting, I've done editing, I still do. And the thing is, though, what it kind of means is that my life, sort of working freelance and the odd jobs, tends to take me in many different places. And so this whole notion of the stream of creation, surrendering to the universe, really speaks to me, especially in Dirk Gently. And so the show, as my life kind of got more crazy, especially over the last year, I had a lot of personal changes. I had a lot of stuff change with my mental health, so I have anxiety and depression. And the show kind of, definitely provided that, I don't want to say validation, but it was just a sense of comfort. So that I'm not alone, that there's characters here that, maybe it's not entirely my fault. Maybe there are things that, contrary to a lot of the teachings that you have in the personal growth industry, I'm not responsible for. I didn't just attract it, I didn't just make this bad thing happen. It's not my fault. I'm not misaligned at some deep level. But maybe it's just that the universe has a different plan. Or doesn't. I don't know. Douglas Adams, when he wrote the book, he's a radical atheist. He doesn't believe any of this stuff. Probably thinks the whole thing is a practical joke on the New Age community, because my New Age friends are eating this up. That's what they love about the show, right? So, it gives me sort of a meaning in a world that doesn't make sense, both personal and sort of at large. And so, and I thought season 2 was a triumph. I absolutely had no idea where it was going. I know some people had strong feelings about it, and they just, they didn't like it as much as season 1, but that's, I loved both of them. It just was amazing. The ending was fantastic and incomplete. It was incomplete. We didn't get what we needed. I know Max Landis and Arvind Ethan David and everyone else who worked on it had a plan. They know exactly what's going down in season 3, and I want to give it a shot. I think the show deserves it. I think we can do what we can to make that a reality. And so what I'm doing is, so far I've done 2 things. So I write, as a writer, I primarily just, I've written 2 articles on Medium. One of them is the Case for a Rowdy 3 spinoff, which I think would be amazing and seem to be very popular. And the other ones are, just how, personal reflections on me, like how the show deals with, helps people with anxiety, helps people with mental illness sort of cope, right? How, maybe assuming that the universe has a plan that you can't tell, kind of explains some of the crazy stuff that happens in your life. And I have more of these coming, right? It's just really as they find me, the ideas. So things like, I want to talk about how Bart and Dirk in season 2, the big theme was that they were going against the will of the universe with consequences, negative consequences really, for a lot of people. And I want to talk about, like, sort of the character study. So I'm an English nerd. I'm a history and English major. Went to McMaster University years ago with a Bachelor of Arts. And I've been writing stories since forever, so like this type of analysis really speaks to me. And I think that's important because it's not just a TV show, right? It is storytelling at some of its finest and most relevant and most satisfying, I think, and comforting. So it deals with these big themes in a very unique way that, you know, I don't think any other show does, of destiny and free will and, you know, what do you do when you're doing right, and how does the universe make sense, right? How to make sense of things that are just crazy. So I'll be continuing that with my writing. I'm actually working on some Rowdy 3 fan fiction. The Rowdy 3 just fascinate me, especially how they left off. Like how they ended is perfect. It's a perfect setup for a spinoff. And so, you know, and other ways I want to help is I want to assemble as many Dirktectives, Dirk Gently fans, to Fan Expo in Toronto this coming September. I should probably be doing more about that. I can't do it alone. But if we can get a big contingent of a fan showing at Fan Expo, I think it's a great opportunity to really get, while we have the attention of a lot of people, to really, you know, sort of spread the show and, you know, just introduce people to it who wouldn't have otherwise known. And to gather the talent, the cast, the crew, anyone who can come, to really have that conversation about what we can do to get that completion. You know, there's a lot of parallels here between Dirk Gently and Firefly back in the day. Oh, we have a shadow. Oops. There's a lot of parallels between Dirk Gently and Firefly. They got one season, so we were lucky that we got two. And it was a fan-led effort that led to Serenity, and that led to basically the completion of the canon. And yes, like, I think what we could do is you know, whatever your opinions on Serenity, I think we can do a completion of the Dirk Gently story arc in that universe in a way that's satisfying, that ties up all the loose ends, and maybe just leaves one or two more, you know, open for other possibilities. But we need our own Breaking Bad style conclusion, deeply satisfying, complete genius, which I'm sure Max Landis and Arvin Ethan David can provide. We need that conclusion to one of the best stories in all time. So that's enough for me. So you can catch me on Twitter at Jody Aberdeen. That's my handle, all one word. And just follow the Save Dirk Gently hashtag to find me. So this is it. And as always, everything is connected.